Good morning. Well, it's Friday. Sorry, I don't know. I never know what day it is before. I should check before I turn on the camera. It's Friday, and there's a number of good things, exciting things happening today, theoretically, combined with some logistical challenges. So last night I went to my friend Janelle's place, photographer friend of mine who was the person that took the photo that became the cover of my new book. Went to have dinner with her and her husband, and took my bike out to where they live, and by the time we were having dinner there was a thunderstorm going on, and so that didn't stop, and I came home by metro. So my bike is about a 20-minute bike ride that way, whereas my apartment is about a 25-minute metro ride this way. And speaking of book covers and speaking of metro rides back to my apartment, theoretically my copies of my new book just arrived at my apartment, which means we should probably go get those, like go open it and check it out, and then bring some back to the Peloton. See, this gets confusing all around. We'll bring some down to the cafe so that anybody that wants a copy that's in Paris should be able to pick one up. Don't have a ton of copies of them, but you know, that was kind of the whole plan the whole time, was to have some available in Paris. And then, assuming it's done raining, which it's still raining outside, we can go and collect my bike from across town, and then, theoretically, that makes us whole. The other good news is apparently all the orders finally got smoothed out. Last night, they gave me one more spreadsheet that was really helpful in figuring out whose orders got lost, and it was exactly the chunk of orders that I thought that I had missed. So in the end, I think everybody's orders are in. A number of your orders, I think a couple hundred at least, have been shipped out already. So you should start seeing books arrive in the next week or two, hopefully, I think. So that's good news. So we're off to a great start today. Crackly voice. All right, anyways, I'm gonna throw my rain jacket on, and then let's go get some books. And then a long overdue coffee, because I don't have coffee here, and it's a delayed gratification kind of a day. Into the wall. Okay. It's a lot of books, really. They packed them pretty, I mean, it looks like they packed them well. They got here quickly. So it's all around, there you go, that's a look. That's what everybody's here for, right? If the length, this is a total side note, but if the length of the mustache in the middle is bothering you a little bit, don't worry. There's a strategy behind it. The idea is to grow all of it out so that it just turns into one big swoopy mustache. I figure if I'm gonna do it, I might as well, you know, at least go big, you know, go big or go home. I can see again. So, let's open this up. We can open the little one, right? It actually works. Doing this at this high of an angle is not ideal, but I should probably have had coffee before trying this. All right. A drum roll, please. There's more paper inside. Hold on, we're almost there. Well, there's only like a few copies in here. Ooh, this is nice. Feels great. One of my concerns, I love the soft touch cover, and I've never printed with this printer before, so I was worried that it wouldn't be what I expected, but it's very nice. The cover's a little bit darker than I expected, but it looks good. So here's the front, here's the spine, and here's the back. Tank bad. That's kind of exciting. What's the inside look like? Looks like the cartoon's printed properly. That's good. I was really worried that the cartoons would look terrible Not gonna lie. For those of you that had no idea that there were gonna be cartoons in this, there are. Both to lighten the mood and to illustrate. But yeah, this looks good. It's got the little headers too. So I made little drawing headers. So I've got a little sea monster there, and then a little ship here, right? The sea monster is chasing the ship across the pages. So that's, I don't know, it turned out pretty darn well. For those of you that are uncertain too, there you go. The Isle of Beached Dreams. So yeah, the most pertinent one right now is probably, I think it's near the beginning. One of them is in reference to like the beacon over the horizon, right? So that's one of the images that's, I don't know, stayed with me the most. I'm really happy with how the cartoons, like, I was so worried in drawing them and scanning them and uploading them. Like, I was genuinely really worried that they weren't gonna look any good. I'm really happy with how they turned out. I was really worried that they would be terrible and they wouldn't look good. But they turned out great. And it's fun because they still kept, I didn't erase the pencil work that I did underneath the ink because I really like how that looks personally. And it's cool because you can still see that underneath a lot of this, which I don't know if stylistically everyone's a fan of that, but I like that a lot. So I'm really happy with how that turned out. But where is I'm just looking for one cartoon to share with you. I thought I was at the very beginning. Here it is. This is, oh boy. Oh boy. Anyways, that is my uncaffeinated, unfed, slightly exhausted, underwhelmed, rainy day review of what my book looks like. It's the unboxing of the century. You're welcome. I'm gonna be depositing a bunch of these down at the Peloton, I think. I'm gonna fill this box up. Let's take these down there and leave some of those, and I'll sign them. I'll just sign them. See, it's interesting how much darker the cover ended up being. Than I expected the contrast to be a little bit more like that. It's fine though. It looks good. It's just, it's a little bit dark. It's my only critique, I feel like, of the entire thing right now is that the cover feels a little bit dark. But otherwise, everything printed pretty well. Even this is the one error that I threw because this Instagram post at the back was a little bit low resolution. But otherwise, everything looks proper, clean, and legible. That's the most important part. Will you be able to read it? Yes, I believe you will. Let's read a passage from this. She sniffed the nape of his neck as he lightly tugged on her bodice. Wait, hold on a second. Did they print a romance novel in here? I'm just kidding. It's a joke. Anyways, yeah, let's box some of these up and get out of here. Et bonne journée.
Merci, au revoir.
Au revoir.
Oh, hello, Mr. Jay.
What's up, Stud Muffin?
So many clever responses to our post. Surprised to you?
Why didn't she send any?
Well, because I was trying to figure out what was appropriate, what wasn't.
Well, that just wasted your opportunity.
We all said that's what she said already.
It's
Great.
my favorite one now. Okay, this to you?
Yeah.
Chris,
Okay, this is my favorite one.
No, like American.
you want to see what's inside?
See? Oh, are these your books?
Well, dang, that gave it away.
Wait for it, guys. Look at this. The limited edition awesome book of Jay! Very excited. He's looking awfully smart there. Pensive.
Unlike usual, yeah.
Exactly. You've got a neck tie thingy. Right, I think this deserves a place in the window.
Go for it, yeah. She did, yeah.
Yeah, your sister's very cool. Okay, right.
Yeah, this I figured I'd leave this box down here if you guys don't mind
Absolutely.
turning into a bookstore.
Yeah. Someone has to already do it.
On to stage 2 of the plan for the day. I have my mask. Time to get back on the metro. Get the bike from a long way, so a lot longer, so much farther away than it just feels like it should be. Grab it, come back. If Bocamex is open, burritos are on the menu for lunch. We were just discussing that in the cafe. And then theoretically, I've succeeded at, reclaiming a good portion of my life. This will feel pretty good. And I feel really good about the fact that it seems like all the books are ordered properly. Finally, it's a relief, which means I'm gonna wait till they're all shipped out and we are sure that we didn't miss any, but that means that there are 15 left available for international shipping anywhere in the world. We might reopen sales soon and briefly for those, so keep your ears peeled. And if you're in Paris, we got about 50 on hand here, so, and 10 of them are in the cafe and signed and ready to be picked up for 20 euros, so off to the races. Anyways, let's get on the metro and then ride back. I also realized I forgot both my cameras, so you're stuck with phone footage for the rest of the bike ride. Here we go. Washed away. What's up, freestyle? Ooh, yes! That is the dream. Alright, Paul's giving me a ride. Do I just get in? Yeah, just get in. With the backpack? Actually, and then you can put it on top of me once I'm in? We're here.
I know you're excited.
I am excited. I'm mostly excited. Yep, super ready. Here we go. I made a milk delivery for these guys in this thing the other day. It definitely takes a little getting used to.
But look at what a pro I am.
You are a pro. Look at this. Paul knows what he's doing.
Yeah, I don't actually know where I'm going.
Go. This was waiting for me back at the Peloton. So Paul was nice enough to give me a ride in his like big bucket bike, which is delightful. We had some sandwiches from a place in town that's been around for a while and I've never been to. And I'm so glad that we finally had some of the sandwiches. They're thinking about offering them at the Peloton, which sounds delightful to me. So it's basically like a Michelin chef who just makes a meal and shoves it into bread. And it was delicious. We tried a whole bunch of different kinds. James sent more stuff. I think he is making sure that I've got my own coffee shop set up, ready to go, which is really, really nice. And now that this is here, it's making me wish that I had my new kettle down here. That's good, we have a kettle, we're gonna be fine, because what I'm gonna use, this is something I've been wanting forever. I gave my Chemex to Kate when we moved out of the old office because she didn't have a way of brewing coffee, and I had my AeroPress, so that we have here now, which I can share with guests if and when they come over. There was a gift, an extra gift of coffee in there, which was very nice of Belleville to include. Filters for the Chemex, which is delightful. A scale, which is something that I've wanted for such a long time, and now I'll be able to make like pro level coffee. I mean, well, let's be honest. A glass, oh, interesting. A glass top for the, I don't even know what this is for. A glass top for a Chemex? I guess you put this in there to keep your coffee warm? Fancy. And then essentially a V60. This is the Kalita 500. This is the limit of my coffee nerddom. Now here's the thing, they also used to have a V60 at the Peloton. Here's some filters for that. And since, I got my fancy Chemex right here, and this guy really requires a nice kettle to do properly, and I don't have that with me here. I'm gonna loan this to them, or maybe just give it to them, to be honest, because I want to share the wealth, and also because they were super jealous when they saw this and they missed theirs, and so I figured, you know what, it's time to hook them up with this delicious setup. I'm actually kind of jealous now that I'm going to be doing that. And there you have it. The rest of this stuff is like, I got my running gear and a couple of things in here for, oh wait, maybe the things are in there too. Here we go. Like a light and some other stuff just to have handy around the house. Although this guy, I don't know if the batteries are dead. They're pretty much dead. They're close to dead. I feel like there's something else that I'm missing. If there is, I'll come back and tell you about it. This kind of blew my mind. Thank you so much, James. I really appreciate it. I might actually make myself a Chemex right now. Let's make some coffee. Oops. I almost nailed that. The ratio is supposedly 1 to 15, so for every gram of coffee you want 15 grams of water, 18 grams of coffee. I don't know why I did 18 grams. I was aiming for 17 and a half grams of coffee, which is like half of what this thing is supposed to do, and ended up with 270 grams of water. So not bad for my first try, really, if you think about it. Oh my gosh, I made a perfect cup of coffee on my first try. I don't know how it tastes, but this is why I always wanted to scale, because like I always eyeball this stuff, like, you know, and it works out one way or another. It makes coffee, but like to make exactly the amount of coffee that I want in one try with the scale and theoretically the exact amount of coffee that I needed. This is probably a little bit hot, but it's not really steaming too much. Well, that'll clearly do it for me today. Thank you so much, James, again for the scale and the Chemex. Really made my day on that one. And Mr. and Mrs. DJ Poseur, of course, thank you so much for being amazing patrons. I'm so glad you came up in the random number generator so early on in this whole patron producer process, but thanks for being the patron producers of this caffeinated running all over the city kind of a day. I am exhausted. Anyways, what a busy day. What a crazy, busy, fun day. What a wonderful day. Anyways, I hope you're having a great day wherever it is you are. Thanks again to all of my patrons as well for being here, and for all of you for watching wherever it is you are. I hope you're having a great day, and I hope that you're up for a great weekend by the time you see this as well. And yeah, I'll see you again tomorrow for a little bit more of whatever this is. Yeah, see you then.